Welcome to the Wager Makers Podcast with Webb and Smitt.
Brick by brick, baby. I'm freaking out, Webb.
I was told there'd be no man. Stupidity's going to be an asset. What a bunch of crybabies.
Hello, my name is Steve Smith, and this is Rob Weber. Say hey, Webb.
Hello. What's up, Smitt?
What up, buddy? I'm Smith, that's Webb, and we are the Wager Makers, and this is the Wager Maker Podcast. Webb, I'm going to let you take this because I know 48 is one that's right in your wheelhouse. I know where you're going to go on this. This is episode number 48, Webb.
For 48, Smitt. Who knew? Time flies. Brick by brick, baby. But this is another layup on number 48, the Daryl Moose Johnson, all-time Cowboy fullback. Just one of my all-time favorites, rock star player, three Super Bowl rings, and another easy call for us for number 48.
48. I don't have anybody else. It's the Moose. The Moose.
Moose.
I gotta respect that dude. On and off the field, good dude. So
good announcer too. Pretty good announcer these days.
Way better than Witten, that's for sure. Witten was a dud. Witten was it. He deserves to go back to the football field. He was so bad.
Yeah, stick to what you're good at.
All right, Webb. So this week, bars are open in New Orleans, Turtle Bay and Spirits on Bourbon. If you serve food, you can be open. We're open limited hours, so getting back to normal. The SEC announced yesterday. This is the words from the SEC Commissioner, Greg Sankey. At this time, we are preparing to begin the fall sports season as currently scheduled, and this limited resumption of voluntary athletic activities on June 8th is an important initial step in that process. So teams are able to go back voluntarily and do workouts and do things with the team with all the safety measures in place, getting temperature checking every day and all that kind of thing. But looks like we're starting to take some steps in the right direction.
Yeah, man, I'm ready to get back. We're here at the beach, Jersey Shore, and I think we're kind of here. It's Memorial Day weekend, obviously, and everybody's all over. I was riding my bike yesterday. There was youth soccer. There's people playing tennis, kids running around. There's a billion bikes, joggers. So much like the NFL, I don't think that the Jersey Shore got the memo that there was a coronavirus. And obviously, we're excited to get back to gambling on some stuff other than KBO. Not that the South Korean baseball hasn't been good to us. But the interesting thing that caught my ear when you said something was voluntary. It's funny how they kind of threw in voluntary work out there, in case something happens. Oh, well, hey, we didn't make them do it. Everyone's here voluntarily type thing. So I from this whole start, I've been kind of leaning to let's kind of get it going and figure it out. So I'm happy. I'm anxious to get it back. And it's, again, I'll voluntarily go to any sporting event, so I get it. I'm with it. Let's tip it off. Let's drop the puck. Let's, play ball. Let's get it going.
Yep. And then even Big 12 came out with an announcement, and they're going to let the same thing happen about a week later. Things are slowly, it's baby steps, man, brick by brick. We'll slowly getting this thing back up and running. So let's see. We'll see what happens. Major League Baseball is in discussions. Looks like hockey, all that kind of stuff is going. But Major League Baseball is getting a lot more web in the discussions about money. Players, some of the players seem to have an issue about going back because of the money. It'd be one thing if Snell came out the other day and said, look, man, I just don't feel safe coming back. But his whole thing is, look, I'm not coming back for less money. I'm not coming back for this, that. The owners came out and said, I think that if they don't have fans in the stands, they'll lose, I don't know, $400,000 a day or some kind of crazy number. I'll tell you, if the other leagues come back and Major League Baseball doesn't because of money, they can all go fuck themselves as far as I'm concerned.
First of all, they can all fornicate themselves with a sharp stick, but they don't. First of all, that's like saying if I made whatever $25 an hour and some shit went down, and then I want to come back or whatever, and I say no, I'm only going to work 20 hours, but still pay me my 40-hour paycheck or whatever. Dude, you're playing less games. There's no one in. I don't know how much the owners are going to lose, but obviously they're going to lose money. So I don't understand how that's not a legitimate argument. Trying to argue with a billionaire about money is an odd thing. I understand that, but Blake Snell can go fuck himself. If you're playing less games, you're going to get paid less money. Period. The end. It's prorated. You're not taking less money per se. I mean, at the end of the W-2 is not going to say the same, but I don't know. It's fucking bunch of bullshit. Again, I agree totally with you. If you're saying I don't feel, you're putting me at risk in terms of health. That's why I'm not playing. Don't say it's about money.
Right. I'd have more respect if you said, "Look, I just don't feel comfortable being around people right now. I'm listening to this shit. I don't feel comfortable doing these things." I'd have more respect for you then. Like everybody in the United States, everybody who's around the world is making sacrifices at this point. I don't think playing for 6 million instead of 7 million or 4 million instead of 7 million to play baseball is that much of a sacrifice.
It's infuriating. I don't know. I mean, my brother's been out of work since it started. You've been on, stuff with your business, my business. I'm making less money. My boss is making less money. Stacy, my wife, hasn't worked at all during this. Got no unemployment for that even.
Right.
So again, Blake Snell could fornicate himself with a big fucking stick, as far as I'm concerned. And you know what? I think they could probably still play the baseball season without Blake Snell. I'm not sure. I think we could probably figure it out.
Richard, maybe we'll go out there and do a little.
You know what? I'll do it for. You know what? Give me. I don't know. What are you going to play? 41 games. Give me 80 grand. I'll do it.
So baseball came out with a 67-page the beginning steps of what you can do. No spitting, no high fiving. And Webb, you're gonna like this one. I'm gonna set you up with a softball here. You can tell a little story about back when we used to play baseball. There's going to be they're going to discourage like throwing the ball around like after outs. After outs. I don't know if you want to tell that story about back in the day when you were on the mound and I was playing first base, but I know that's stuck in our heads. I can still picture the ball flying across the diamond, hoping it hit Chris Howell in the chest.
I hope but knocked his teeth out. Hit him right in the fucking grill. I was hoping. It was unbelievable. Pitching the game of my life against Lakewood. I was hitting home runs, doubles. Game of my life. Lakewood, big high school, on the Freehold Barrel Field. Smitt thinks it's 3 or 2 outs or whatever it is. Playing first base, throws the ball to shortstop, kind of throw it around, right over his head, sails in left field. Guys running around the bases, we lose the game. But I was mad at you for a long time about that. But I've gotten over it.
Lost the game on that play, but it was a big play. It's embarrassing. I was known in my head. I was a headsy ball player. It's one of the things I had going in sport. I was always kind of in the game. My head was always in the game, so I'm playing first base, and there was a guy on base. And obviously, when you make an out at first, you don't throw the ball around when there's a guy on base. Sure enough, the dude gets out at first. There might have been the guy on second base, maybe. And man, I wing it right to the shortstop, like we're throwing it around, like there's two, like it's out at the infield. And man, I just saw it. I remember thinking, man, I as soon as I let it go, I was like, holy shit, he's not paying attention. And I got a guy on second base, and this ball is going straight into left field. And I just remember hoping, I was like, man, I hope this ball hits Chris Howell right in the chest. And it did not. It did not hit him in the chest, and it went flying out into left field. And I was an asshole. I apologize. Still apologize to that for this day.
I forgive you, man. That's right. But it's so funny. Like I was on the mound, so I watched the play. So I turned to you. I'm thinking you're going to throw the ball to me, obviously. And he threw the ball. It was like the ball was in slow motion. I was like, no. And yeah, again, I was watching it, and I was like, just hit him, just fucking take his teeth out, right? Whatever. I mean, Chris was a nice dude too, but and
it wasn't even a soft lob. It was no doubt. If it didn't hit him,
it would have done some damage. Oh yeah.
And it wasn't going straight to the left fielder. It was going like off to the side, like where it would be out of play to the left hand side. It wasn't like it went straight out to. And I took I got the bag. I took a hard crow hop and really let it go. And
the ball went like equidistant over the left field line between the third baseman and the left fielder. So it was in no man's land. Just fucking leave it. Just let the guy score. Give me another ball up.
I'll never forget that. That was a bad one. Most of my sports memories are good. That one I'll remember. And even if I try and forget, you never let me forget that one.
Never. I'll be telling that one at the we get down the line. The funeral's here. I'll be telling that one. So it was my boy, but.
All right, so folks, we don't have too much sports to talk about, but we have been still doing the Korean baseball. I didn't pop on all of our picks this week. We're still doing okay on that, kind of up and down, but it's something to do. I got our guys on the West Coast watching late at night. Everything. I haven't been able to wake up and watch all the games like I was early on, but man, the NC Dinos are still kicking ass.
Yeah, I like the Dinos. Yeah. It's funny, Smitt. They're trying to catch up. I'm assuming that there's been more gambling on South Korean baseball in this however it's been. What's it been? 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever it's been in the entire length of the life of the league. And now it's funny that the odds are catching up. Now you're seeing a couple 220s, minus 220, the Dinos and the Hero, the Kiwombs or whatever they are. The Wyverns are laying some different some heavy wood. So it's funny how that kind of. It's funny too seeing the rookies, dude, and Jimmy. See what are these numbers? Why are they so high? Well, that's what happens, man.
Right. So, but it's been fun. It's actually been fun to watch. But I'll tell you, on ESPN, I'm surprised they're not embracing this a little more. You know what I mean? You watch the games, and all during the game, the announcers they suck. I know you haven't watched much, but so usually during the game, there's like this little split screen, and they got 3 announcers, their faces sitting here looking just like me and you, sitting in their living room with a microphone, and they're talking the whole time of game about Major League Baseball, when this shit coming back, interviewing guys. Like, I want to watch the game that's on now. I got money on this shit. You know? Right. Tell me about Jong Lee and fucking what his batting average is against this other motherfucker.
Hell yeah.
Fucking whatever his fucking name is. And I'm not trying to be with the names. I don't know their names because the announcers aren't even doing it.
Right. I saw something that Mel Rojas Jr., I think it was, he hit 2 or 3 home runs in a row or something. It was like some KBO. That's the name of the league. It's KBO. I guess it's Korean baseball organization, I guess. He hit 2 or 3, but the first time was the history of the league that someone has done that. So, we could all get behind Mel Rojas Jr. There's a couple other Americans out there, but he said even that third baseman is real good. Yeah. I think it's on the Dinos. And I'm shocked that we haven't seen. If they would put a game on at 11 o'clock, I'm just the first thing I do in the morning is check the scores. But I'm not going to stay up till 4:30. Surprisingly, I'm not going to stay up to 4:30.
Good for Korean baseball if they had their guys get up at 4 a.m. and play some baseball.
That's what I'm saying. To give them some money, you pay them. Right. I would do it with some fucking difference.
Stop showing one game a day. Show some fucking games.
Right. Come on. What? You got to be able to figure out the time difference at some. Have them play. I don't know, in the morning. Not even. What's 6 in the morning over?
10 teams.
Right. Right. Again, I'm shocked that it didn't. This was an opportunity, I think, that was probably missed because it's going to be sooner than later. Here, we're going to be done.
Right. And I'll be done with this shit so fast you won't even.
Right. We'll drop just like a fucking hot rock, and as soon as they do anything over here.
Whatever it is. ESPN announcers, do your job. Learn about the guys. Tell me about them. I want to learn. I'm trying to learn this shit, and I'm trying to do it online. It's a little hard to find all the.
Hey, I'm doing more work than you. I ain't getting paid. I'm trying to make $50 on the fucking thing. How hard is it? It's not that hard. There's not that much. It's not that much. There's not that much data on these guys. It's almost back to last year. That's it.
Though, while they talk about whatever the hell's happening in their life, kind of like this, I guess.
Exactly. Wow.
All right. Sorry about that. Yeah, I guess it's kind of like us. All right. But all right. By the way, man, your man cave's looking really cool back there. I've got that Emmitt Smith sign thing. I'm going to send you. You can add it to your wall back there that I got in Las Vegas. I'll Pete Rose bat.
Hell yeah! I got a bunch of Cowboys side: Emmitt Smith, Romo, Charles Haley, Aikman. Emmitt Smith football from Florida. I'm sorry, I'm missing the mic here. Some Carolina stuff, Carolina banners, and then of course the Wager Makers banner. So yeah, it's looking good. I'm happy with it. I like it. But I'm gonna have to start wearing, like you said, man. I got to do the sunglasses thing because I got these studio lights. I'm doing the little quotes here, and they're blinding me.
The round ones or the like flat?
They're like photography type things.
It's showbiz, bro. This is showbiz.
It's professional.
Yeah. So, that brings us to a good question. We talked about the Major League Baseball and all that kind of stuff. Scott Wheatley sent us a good question on, I think it was Facebook or Twitter or something like that yesterday, about would you give up the rest of the season of Major League Baseball, NHL, and NBA if it ensured that we'd have a full NFL and college football season? To me, this is no-brainer territory.
What month are we in here? We're in the end. I actually understood it differently, but I don't know if I would do that. So I'd have to wait till when to start. I guess what's that first week in August? We'd have to get through June and July. No, my answer would be no.
No.
My answer would be no.
Because I think. Well, how did you understand the question? You understood?
I don't know. I thought I just said which would I prefer. I would just said whatever the answer was to get something that we could gamble on professionally ASAP. I didn't know that we have to wait another 2 months to gamble. No.
Well,
so my answer would be no.
I just thought, like, I would be willing if it ensured that college football and pro football would be played full out all season, maybe full stands with fans.
Right. Well, that's
shit.
I mean, full stands.
I would gladly give up the rest of the NHL and NBA and Major League Baseball season. I'll bet free baseball at 4:30 in the morning for the next.
That's not going to last. Probably not going to last 2 more months. I don't know. I mean, if you're going to tell me it's back, not going to stop, and there's 100,000 fans every Saturday, and that's a different, so maybe I would have to suck it up, I guess. But with no guarantees I don't know. That's tough. I'm fucking waiting for something good to gamble on.
All right. So moving on. Hey, Webb, you see in the news, your best friends, Duke basketball and Coach K are in a little bit of trouble with our guy Zion. I guess there's issues with Zion getting gifts and his family getting gifts and everything. And I think Coach K might have to be deposed. And who knows what's going to happen? I know you're a lover of the Duke Nation. How you feel? The rat
eats cheese, Smitt. The rat always eats cheese. That's all. I will post our little thing of Krzyzewski crawling out of a Carolina garbage can here when we're done. And same thing happened with Corey Maggette back in the day, and it kind of went away. So I don't know. And Zion was obviously a huge recruit. I followed it because Carolina was kind of in it for a while. Then they fell to the wayside. But yeah, listen, I've always thought there was something going on. It's not a factory like it is at Kentucky. So, Duke, it's one of the things I can't understand, Duke. It's kind of like rooting for the Taliban or ISIS or something. So I'm hoping I'm hoping they go down.
All right. So let's see. Oh, you know what I was thinking too? We should talk about moving forward down the line. I was thinking about a good idea for the podcast. So, listen, we're sending this out to everybody. Nick Perone's had some great ideas about competitions that we should do to get people to listen to the podcast. Maybe have a fantasy football league, a pick'em segment where fans can come on or try and beat us, or groups of people can try and beat us with the picks. But the problem is we don't have sports right now. But what I was thinking too would be really cool if we went live during a football game and we did the commentating. People could watch the game at home,
great.
And then me and you do the commentating. That would be pretty cool.
Love it. That'd be great.
So we'll take any advice from you guys out here of ways that we can get more listeners. We want to encourage you guys to share and share on Facebook, share on Twitter, share on all that kind of stuff, and we'll have some competitions. So
also, we'd like to sponsor some type of poker online thing. If we could play poker against each other remotely or whatever, wager makers can actually put up some little bit of cash thanks to Wilbur Investigations yet again. And then we could maybe throw a logo around or something like that. Anyways, if anyone has any idea, as savvy as Smitt has become, we still can't, or maybe we just haven't put too much work. But anyone knows how we could do that, where a bunch of us could sit on our couches and gamble for some real money. And I mean, I would guess it would have to be poker. I don't know how savvy most people are at Texas Hold'em. I am not the most savvy Hold'em people, but we grew up playing poker. So if anyone could figure that out or knows how to do it,
we could do Hold'em tournaments and have prizes and look, anybody
poker
out there,
tournaments.
Yeah,
more likely, I would think.
Yeah, no doubt. Because then it limits limits your what you can lose or whatever. But we'll have real prizes. Thanks, like I say, thanks to Wilbur Investigations. But we were thinking about Webb. I don't even know what to do, Webb. I'm still playing my guitar. I was thinking about a Name That Tune competition.
That's another great idea. That's another good one, man. I love that idea too. Absolutely.
Should I play?
It may take a long. Yeah, play. Go ahead and let us indulge us or indulge yourself here. Let's see what you got. Let's kick it off here. Our initial Name That Tune. Let's see if we could figure it out. So the first person who does what? I don't know. Hits up Smitt or hits us on Twitter.
Send some message or lets us know. I'll just we'll give you one. Can you hear this, by the way?
Yes.
All right. So I'll just give you an example. Right now, Webb, you can you'll probably recognize this one off the bat. You can say it out loud once you hear it. Let's see if I can get this right. Does that sound familiar at all?
It does. Yes. It's Neil Young. I don't know the name of the song. Neil Young, right? Heart of Gold.
Heart of Gold, baby.
I got it. Yep. I knew it was Neil Young. I wanted to wait for the exact name of the song. Yeah, that's not bad. That's a pretty good, man. You're getting better.
All right, there you go. That's a little Neil Young. All right, so now for you country folk, I don't know if this guy's country or not so much, but he's kind of mainstream. But let's see if I can get this one down. Here's a little riff. Here's a little starting riff for one of these songs. All right, hold on. Here we go.
I think I got it. I don't know. I know the song. I don't know the.
I'll try it one more time, but without all the fuck ups.
All right. I think I can picture the song. Let me guess. He's singing about drinking beer and whiskey.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's Chris Stapleton.
That's
smooth as Tennessee whiskey and sweet as strawberry wine and warm as a glass of brandy.
My kids and my wife, Lex and Stacy listen to country music. I'm like, they're just singing about fucking drinking beer and drinking whiskey. That's all they think about. Chris Stapleton, he was on Howard. He was good. He was on Howard Stern. He was really good.
There it is. All right, so maybe next. All right, so now let's see. I'm gonna try and do one, and we won't say it. And if anybody lets us know on Facebook or Twitter or anything. Damn, I don't know if I got another one ready to. I only know so many songs at this point. I might have used up all my stuff.
That's your shut your load. All right, I got you. You can't use you've done a couple on here before too, so you can't use them either.
All right, let's try this. All right, there you go. That's the little intro for. I don't want to say. I don't want to say who it is.
I won't say. I think I.
All right, so thanks for entertaining me there. And
no worries.
Hey, if you reach out and you let us know, that's the intro to a famous song. You certainly, if I played it by the actual musician, you would understand what it is. And so if you reach out to us, let us know. Share the show with some friends. I'll send you a T-shirt and a hat. How about that?
There you go.
All right. So, and maybe this might force me to learn until sports starts. You got
to do it. You got one for each week now. Yep.
I shouldn't have let all three
of
my best ones. Yeah, I know it's sad to say that those are my three best, but really, all I'm trying to do out of this thing, Webb, is if I'm ever hanging out at a campfire where there's a guitar there, I want to be able to play like 2 or 3 songs and then just put it down and be like, oh, that's cool.
I got much respect, man. You're doing something, bettering yourself in this time. A lot of people are doing worse, I'm sure. So I'm proud of you. Way to go.
Campfire I'll be at will be.
It's all right. Hey, you never know. Hey, these days you never know. You never know.
But if I want to be the dude,
I'd have to wear.
Let me play a little something.
I never thought they'd cancel an NCAA tournament. I never thought I'd have to wear a fucking mask to go buy a 6-pack in the middle of the night either. So.
What a crazy picture. They had a picture of during the 1918 Spanish flu. We posted on our Facebook today a story about a whole bunch of people at a Georgia Tech team with masks. It was pretty wild sight.
It's surreal. I mean, it's scary and it just I don't know. It's still fucking unbelievable, this whole nonsense. But enough of that.
All right. So moving on.
I'm just going to say your boy, Joe Rogan, coming on the heels of the other Barstool dude getting these $100 million deals for podcasts. Well, where the fuck is the wager makers money at? No disrespect. Thanks again to Wilbur investigation. But I'm looking for fucking $100 million, bro.
Right. Joe Rogan, $100 million,
yeah.
$100 million. Yes. So from Spotify.
And no disrespect to Joe Rogan, but I'm guessing this is probably as good. Give us 50 million and we'll call it even.
I posted a few weeks ago, one of his first, they showed his first podcast. Tell you, didn't look too much different than this shit. I can tell you.
I'm just waiting for the train to go past here, Smitt. That's all.
We got to name that train. That's our train. It's just part of the show now.
Yeah, exactly.
What train is that? That's going to the city or what?
It's a commuter train, New Jersey Transit. Yep, it runs from Bayhead all the way to stops in Long Branch and then kind of changes, goes right to Newark Penn Station and right to Penn Station. Actually stops in Secaucus, I think, before that.
What do they call that? Bayhead line or something? What do they call that? What do they call that?
Jersey Shoreline.
Jersey Shoreline. There we go. We got to. We're gonna stop fighting the train and trying to edit it out. It's just gonna be part of the show now. That's it.
We got to embrace it. Exactly. Make some lemonade here. That's awesome. That's what we're doing.
The Jersey Shoreline. Here she comes. Woo woo.
That's it. Believe me, I think comes when I'm immune to it now. It comes at 5 o'clock in the morning, in the middle of the night. It's crazy.
So big news here in New Orleans. Not that big of news, but this is pretty fun anyway. Mercedes-Benz, they canceled, they're not going to renew at the end of the year their naming rights deal with the Superdome. Obviously, they took over the name in Atlanta. So there was actually 2 Mercedes-Benz arenas, domes, whatever you want to call it. And so as long as you're dealing with Atlanta, I say good riddance to Mercedes-Benz. Go fuck yourself. And but big news here is Web, a porn site, has offered to pay for the naming rights here in New Orleans of the Superdome.
What's the site? What's it called?
The site is called Strip Chat. The website is called Strip Chat.
I mean, I don't know that it would go through, but I don't know that they can't prohibit them from doing it. I'm sure it's probably just at the end of the day a publicity stunt. I don't know. With that stuff, I used to work for Van Wagner. They do all that kind of stuff. I don't know that you have to have a certain amount of collateral and stuff to get it done. But it's a great idea. Listen, I'm all for it. It's as long as it's legal, let's do it.
I mean, he offered $15 million. I don't know if that's for a year. Mercedes-Benz was paying. They had a 10-year, and their contract was 50 to 60 million. So really, if I don't know if he says 1 year or for 3 years, $15 million would even give them $5 million a year or something. But I don't know if Gail Benson will go for it. Obviously, I have no issue with this, man. Could you think about the games if Strip Chat instead of Mercedes, if Strip Chat was the sponsor and they had Strip Chat girls hanging out at the outside handing out stuff and doing stuff and if the team really and NFL really embraced this, and I think it'd be great.
Why not? And how far? I mean, what'd you say? The Saints have 8 national games, and when they start, they pan out from the dome. Hey, here we are live from the Strip Chat Dome in New Orleans. I would love it. I think it would be great.
But New Orleans is set. I don't know how the Final Four and the Super Bowls are going to change. Or I guess
that's another point. Right. Yeah, right.
2022, the Superdome is set for the Final Four, and 2024 is a Super Bowl here. So, I don't know if they're going to move those around, like the Final Four around at all because of, the coronavirus and the teams and the city got skipped this year. But I mean, that's in the next couple of years. We got a Final Four and a Super. So, and
that's a great idea from a marketing perspective for them. I mean, that's like a call to action. Mercedes just did it obviously just for branding and recognition, but these guys could have all these people sitting in their hotel rooms coming to town just fucking hitting Strip Chat. Why not?
Right. This is a statement from the guy Bennett that's owns stripchat.com. So he's talking about how great of a partnership it would be between New Orleans and the Saints and Strip Chat. In our opinion, New Orleans is the party capital of the United States. It's always been synonymous with nightlife and entertainment. It comes alive at night with people wandering the neon-hued promenade of one of the most famous nightlife strips in the world, Bourbon Street. Aside from being known for its rich Cajun cuisine, array of alcoholic drinks, and then he goes on to name a few drinks and didn't mention the Resurrection, so I'm going to skip that. New Orleans is synonymous with football, more specifically the New Orleans Saints. And then he goes on, I like to think that we here at Strip Chat embody some of the New Orleans character and flair. As one of the world's leading adult webcam sites that averages over 60 million visitors per month, we know a thing or two about having a good time. We have been looking into I love how like the porn guys always use the best words when they're doing their stuff. So
well,
we
a
have
little euphemism,
into penetrating the sports world, and think is the wonderful opportunity to do so by announcing a bid of up to $15 million for the naming rights of the Superdome. We'd like to name it the Strip Chat Superdome, and for it to be home of the future Super Bowl champion New Orleans Saints. So I think it's great. I think it's great. I think it would be.
I'm behind it. Why not? Yeah, why not?
And while we're at
it's a great idea.
In case this Bennett character is listening, we would be happy and honored to be called the Strip Cat Wager Makers Podcast.
Taking the words right out of my mouth.
I mean,
it wouldn't even take $15 million.
Even take 15 million. Not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Right. I'm sure we could come to some type of terms. As long as you want.
Right. Even they have barter system for.
Yeah, right. That's right. A couple of tokens, a password.
Right. So that would be pretty fun. And you know what? I might just call ourselves the Strip Chat.
Yeah, no, in all seriousness, that would be great. We would love to be sponsored by Strip Chat or any other adult online.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't know if Gail Benson will be into it, but we will certainly.
We are open for business. Absolutely. And anybody. I got a Dunkin' Donuts coffee here, Poland Spring Water, Miller Lite, Maker's Mark. I got a Nike shirt on here. Sorrento subs and Freehold. We're open to that. Yep.
Those subs.
I can almost see Hoffman's ice cream from here, and it's ridiculous. The best business, I think, in the world, that place. It still has a line, even with the coronavirus. So any and all comers, we are for sale. I got a Titleist golf bag I'm looking at. What else? I'm just looking around the garage here. Converse. Come on, man. I got an Easton softball bag.
I'm looking behind you. You got some cans up there, some cows.
That's right. That's right.
But all you freehold businesses out there, the Federicis, the Jersey Frees, we're giving you all a shout out right now, man. Just give us a shout.
Right, some love. That's right. Give us some swag. We'll give it away.
All right. So real quick, little more serious. We wanted to say, old time NBA great is now in the hospital. Patrick Ewing with the coronavirus. I don't know, Webb. You got any thoughts? I know Patrick Ewing's not your favorite guy in the world.
I don't understand this. I don't understand why it's fucking news. Like, okay, the guy has coronavirus. That sucks. I don't wish him any will, but who gives a shit? He was on the fucking Knicks. He has the same amount of NBA rings as me and you. And the Knicks have been irrelevant. I'm 49 years old. They've had like 2 good years in my entire life. And who cares that Patrick Ewing has the coronavirus? That's, again, I'm not wishing him ill, but there's a bazillion other people, or how many other people that have coronavirus, and no one gives a shit. So I don't give a shit about Patrick Ewing having a coronavirus.
I think a bazillion is the actual number we're at this point.
Right. It depends who you ask.
So I got no beef with Patrick Ewing. Dude was a monster growing up. A great college career, great pro career. Never won. He was in those Jordan days. I know he used to battle against your Carolina Tar Heels a lot.
Beat him. I don't know if he ever won. Did they win? Did they beat? Was he on a team that beat Houston? Did he beat Phi Slamma Jam? I guess that was Michael Graham. I guess Ewing had to be on the team.
I'm pretty sure, but he did lose. He did lose to Villanova, and he did lose to
Carolina.
He had to win one.
He must. He had to. He was in 3 finals. That's a lot. Wow.
So and then obviously a lot of deep runs.
Get on that. Where's Perone? We need the answer to see if Patrick Ewing was on all 3 of those teams.
He's going to get up to speed on some of these competitions, so you won't have to hear me play the guitar much anymore.
He also likes the Flacco signing, as long as Flacco will play his proper role. Jets signed Flacco. Yes. Yeah. Weren't you on the I thought you were on that text last night. Yeah. I think last night it came to Flacco signed with the Jets. I think they have like 5 backs on the roster.
I saw they signed that old running back. Who was the dude from Miami, played at San Francisco?
Frank Gore. Gore. Yeah. He's good. He was always one of my favorites. He was back on those Miami teams after the heyday. Right. But he had a long career now, dude, in the NFL. Forever. It might be 14, 15 years for running backs long.
Right. And I saw your buddy Ryan Leaf got.
I want to talk about that. Yeah. He had another ex-Cowboy. Yeah. Domestic abuse, yeah, and it was, it's fun. I didn't really have any beef with him. I thought he was good. All that shit you saw him. He was, I guess, a drug addict for a while. That's what all that shit you saw him acting crazy. And then I looked like he got himself back on track. He actually is employed by ESPN at this point. I think he's a college football analyst, for those West Coast games. So I don't know. I'm sure they'll drop him again here like a hot brick. But I don't know. Domestic issues are tough. So I don't know. But I'm sure there had to be some substances involved in that. So I don't know. It's just funny how he can't seem to get out of his own way after all this time.
Right. All right. So what? Any other big sports news this week we're missing? I mean, looks like all these leagues are starting to take steps. Even the NBA had some guys. Some of the facilities started open for shoot arounds, things like that. I don't know, man.
The Raptors having looked, this is a full on scrimmage. There was guys boxing each other out and everything. And like I said, I saw that stuff with Prescott throwing to Ezekiel Elliott, and Des Bryant looks good too, by the way. But they were hugging, they were huddling up like it was. Again, nothing. So I'm optimistic, cautiously optimistic that within, I don't know, end of July, we're going to be back, man. We're going to have most of this stuff rocking and rolling. And I think the NFL for sure is just going to ignore the whole thing.
Right. Did Dak sign a contract yet?
Oh, no. There's been a bunch of rumors that he turned down $175 million. But the Cowboys came out, and so did Prescott's agent, saying that was not the case. But there is, I think it's a fact that there's $145 million on the table right now. So again, Dak Prescott can jump into the same boat as Blake Snell and fornicate himself for $145 million, even if it is for 5 years. So and it's not like. Again, they were lifting the Lombardi Trophy last year. They didn't make the fucking playoffs. There were 2 games where they didn't score a touchdown. So, fuck him.
Right. All right. There is horse racing this weekend. I want to remind everybody to check out Scott Wheatley's site. I've been posting his stuff on our page. The Thoroughbred Report. You can get him on, I think, Twitter and Facebook and maybe Instagram. But he puts out free picks every day, and he's got a whole slate of stuff for this weekend. I think there's all kinds of like derby prep races and all that kind of stuff.
Yep. And they did announce, I think it's going to start with what's the one in Queens? Shit, I forget now. The Belmont's going to start earliest. I think that's in a couple weeks maybe. So that's going to be the kickoff to the Triple Crown. And they shortened the race though. Instead of the longest now, I think it's the same as the Derby. So that will affect it because that was always big. That was always the last one. It was always a much longer race. So it was always tough to win that one. Certainly have to win in the other two. And also some real good news, Smitt, for the Jersey Shore. The Haskell will be back this year. I've been, I don't know, maybe 18 years in a row. They did kind of cancel it. I guess it was last year. Me and Devin tried to go because it was too freaking hot, which again was another unbelievable thing. It just shows you, I guess, should have known that the world was fucked up at that point. But I will be leaning on Scott. Scott's good, man. Scott Wheatley's good. He's real good at Gulfstream too, by the way. So I'll be leaning on him for some Haskell picks. I'm excited for that.
Dig it. So just before we wrap it up here, just want to remind everybody, look, tell some friends, help us out. Webb, I decided to live my life on Last Dance quotes, Michael Jordan Last Dance quotes. This week's, we talked about a week or two ago that, I don't have a gambling problem. I have a competitiveness problem. This week's quote is, what starts with hard work ends in champagne. That's with us. That's us from now on. That's what I'm going with this week. I'm using it at the bars. I'm using it at the bars. I'm using it here. Yeah. Brick by brick. Same thing. Brick by brick. Yeah. What starts with hard work ends in champagne. I like that. I love
it. Whatever MJ says, that's right. I'm down.
So, all right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. Again, Wilbur Investigations. Hey, if you guys got some kind of fraud going on up there in Monmouth County,
here we go.
Here comes the Jersey Shore line.
There it is. Right on time. Closing us out. I love it.
Bringing people to the beach. They're bringing people to the beach right now.
That's right. Oh yeah, I guarantee you. There's a bunch of college kids coming from the city, no doubt.
All right, Wilbur Investigations. John Grove for the bumper music. Listen to us. TuneIn Radio, YouTube. Devin's going to let you know about YouTube. Thank you, Devin. iHeartRadio, Google Play Music, Podbean, Apple, Spotify, Stitcher. We're going to get Devin to do a little video one day soon so that I can put her on the show as opposed to for the video section of this podcast so that we don't just have a pause there while that part is going on. But we'll get her on here soon. And I guess that's it for this week. Thank you all for listening. Look, please spread the word. We've been doing good. The YouTube channel, we had a good bit of listeners to last week's episode on the YouTube, and we've been doing good on the analytics on our Spotify and all those other sources we're on. Thank you all for listening so much. Tell some friends, share it. Go on Facebook, share. Don't forget you can pop on and let me know if you recognize what tune that was that I played on a guitar, and I'll send you out a t-shirt and a hat. And soon we'll be having some things where maybe you can win some money, maybe some gift cards, things like that. Thank you. Weber, say goodbye and take us on out of here.
Brick by brick, baby. Thanks everybody for listening. Thanks to Wilbur Investigations. Don't forget to hit us up. Let Smitt see who Smitt thought that little riff was. And the Wager Makers hat and the t-shirts are legit, man. It's good swag. It's quality stuff. It's no paper shit. And I don't know, we're going to be back soon, man. It's all coming live, and anybody wants to hear anything in particular, we'll answer any and all questions. And I guess that's it, man. Thank you. And hey, Scott Fortnoy, Barstool Radio, Joe Rogan, Sirius XM. Let some crumbs fall the Wager Makers' way.
Dig it. All right, brother.
All right, man.
Talk to you later.
Be good. Yeah.